Hello, welcome to the Health Breakdown. If you're over the age of 65, the food choices you make every day carry more weight than ever before. It's not just about taste anymore. It's about energy, mobility, and how well your body can handle what you put into it. And one of the most overlooked foods in this conversation is bread. Yes, bread, that soft, familiar staple that's been on your plate for decades. But here's the truth. As you age, your body doesn't process certain ingredients the way it used to. What might have felt like a harmless slice of toast or a quick sandwich in your 40s or 50s can now lead to bloating, fatigue, or worse, serious blood sugar spikes or digestive issues you didn't expect. That's why the types of bread you choose now matter more than ever. When I talk to people over 65, I always start by reminding them that their metabolism has shifted. Your muscle mass naturally decreases, your gut becomes more sensitive, and your insulin response might not be as sharp. That means heavily processed breads, loaded with preservatives and refined sugars, aren't just empty calories. They can become barriers to the energy and stability you need to live well. And the tricky part is, these breads often look healthy. They are sitting on store shelves with words like multigrain, light, or fiber added, but they're packed with hidden ingredients that don't serve your body anymore. It's also a matter of inflammation. The wrong breads, those made with refined white flour or added sugars, can silently trigger inflammation in your joints and tissues. That daily bagel or soft roll might be contributing to why your knees hurt more than usual, or why your hands feel stiff when you wake up. And when you're over 65, reducing anything that aggravates inflammation is key to staying mobile and independent. But let's be clear, this isn't about giving up bread entirely, far from it. In fact, the right types of bread can offer essential fiber, natural energy, and even help balance cholesterol levels. The goal isn't to avoid bread, it's to avoid the wrong bread. And unfortunately, many people in this age group are still reaching for the same brands or types they grew up eating, without realizing their bodies have changed, and so should their habits. So if you're in that 65 and up crowd, it's time to rethink what's going into your toaster. The good news: there are breads out there. You should be eating breads that work with your body instead of against it, helping you feel lighter, more energized, and more in control of your health. It's never too late to make that shift, because the bread you choose today could be the difference between feeling your age and defying it. Let's talk straight for a moment. When you see the words "never touch" on a label or hear them in a conversation about food, it might sound a bit extreme. But when it comes to bread, yes, bread, that warning is more important than you think, especially if you're over 65. You see, at this stage in life, your body is more sensitive to what you eat. That slice of bread isn't just a slice anymore. It's either helping your system function more smoothly, or it's dragging it down with hidden ingredients you'd never suspect were doing damage. Now, the reason I say never touch isn't to scare you. It's because certain types of bread don't just fall short on nutrition, they actively work against your health. We're talking about breads that are so processed, so stripped of natural grains and nutrients, that all you're left with is a spike in blood sugar, a sluggish digestive system, and a body wondering why it feels more tired than usual after a simple meal. These are breads filled with refined flours, preservatives, artificial colors, and added sugars that provide no benefit, only burden. And here's the kicker: these breads often don't taste that different. They've been engineered to feel soft, stay fresh for weeks, and smell amazing when toasted. But they've been stripped of the natural fiber and nutrients your body actually needs, especially now. The fiber that used to keep your digestion smooth, gone. The whole grains that used to support your heart and energy levels, replaced by bleached flour and corn syrup. So when I say never touch, I'm not being dramatic, I'm being honest. This is the age when you can't afford to let a daily staple like bread quietly sabotage your efforts. I've seen people cut calories, walk every morning, take their supplements, and still feel off. Then they switch out the wrong bread for the right one, and suddenly they have more energy, less joint pain, and even a clearer mind. That's not a coincidence. That's the power of removing what doesn't belong in your body anymore. That's the power of refusing to touch bread that only serves the shelf life of a product, not your own. So when you go to the store, pay attention. If the ingredients list is longer than your grocery list, if you see words you can't pronounce, if sugar is one of the first ingredients, put it back. You deserve better. You've lived long enough to know the difference between convenience and true nourishment. Choose the bread that gives back. Skip the ones that steal, because sometimes what you don't touch matters more than what you do. There's something powerful about clarity, especially when it comes to the choices we make every day, like the food we put on our plates. And when it comes to bread, one of the most common staples out there, clarity is often the one thing missing. That's why I break it down into 2 simple lists. 4 breads you should absolutely avoid, and 4 you should lean into and enjoy every single day. No gray area, no confusion, just clear direction, because when you're over 65, you don't need another mystery in your life. You need straightforward answers. See, the food industry doesn't make it easy. Labels are confusing, marketing is slick, and some of the worst breads come dressed up like health foods. You've got loaves labeled multigrain that are really just white bread with a few seeds sprinkled on top. You've got light breads that trade calories for chemicals, and it's no wonder people feel lost. But when we lay things out clearly, this is what helps, this is what harms, suddenly everything becomes easier. You're not staring at a wall of bread trying to guess what's good. You're walking in with a list, with intention, and most importantly, with confidence. And let's be honest, at this stage in life, simplicity is a gift. You don't want to spend your time guessing every ingredient list or wondering if the bread you picked is going to leave you feeling bloated, tired, or unbalanced. The beauty of a clear, contrasting structure, what to avoid, what to embrace, is that it gives you a rhythm, a way to build better habits without the noise. It lets you put your energy where it belongs, in living well, not decoding labels. There's also something deeply reassuring about having a few daily staples you can count on. The right kinds of bread, those 4 that actually support your digestion, your energy, your strength. They can become part of your daily rhythm. They can support your meals, keep you satisfied, and even help you maintain stable blood sugar throughout the day. These aren't just better options. These are building blocks for a healthier, steadier way of eating that works with your body, not against it. Meanwhile, keeping the worst offenders out of your kitchen means you're protecting yourself, day in and day out, from the silent damage they can do. It's not about guilt, it's about being wise. You've earned the right to be selective, to say, no, that doesn't belong in my life anymore, and to do so without hesitation. So when I talk about 4 to avoid and 4 to embrace, it's not just a catchy phrase. It's a roadmap. It's a tool. It's the kind of clarity that cuts through the noise and keeps you moving in the right direction. Because when you know what's working for you and what isn't, you're already halfway to feeling better. Let's talk about something that matters more than most people realize: what you do daily. Not once in a while, not just when you're feeling motivated or trying to be good, but every single day. It's your daily choices that shape how you feel, how you move, how you age. And when it comes to bread, what you eat every day matters just as much as what you avoid. That's why I don't just focus on the worst breads to stay away from. I'm equally passionate about the ones you should be eating every day without hesitation. You see, bread doesn't have to be the villain. In fact, the right kinds of bread can do a lot of good. I'm talking about real, whole breads made from ingredients that actually support your body's needs. As we get older, our digestion slows down, our energy can dip, and we become more sensitive to imbalances. But the right bread, something hearty, rich in fiber, full of nutrients from actual grains, can help keep things moving, keep you fuller longer, and even give you the steady energy you need to enjoy your day. Now, I know what some people might be thinking. Every day, bread. And I say yes, absolutely if it's the right kind. Because when you eat the good stuff daily, you're not just filling a space on your plate. You're fueling your body with purpose. These breads don't just sit in your stomach like empty fluff. They give you something real. Fiber to support digestion, natural grains that break down slowly, and ingredients your body actually recognizes. That's the kind of daily habit that adds up in all the right ways. Think about your routine for a moment. Breakfast, lunch, maybe a light dinner. Bread fits into each of those moments easily, whether it's a slice of toast, a sandwich, or something warm with a bowl of soup. But that's why it's so important to choose wisely, because if you're eating bread at least once a day, and most people are, then that choice is shaping your health more than you realize. The wrong bread adds to the problem. The right bread becomes part of the solution. And here's the beautiful part. Once you find those 4 good breads, the ones that actually nourish your body, you can stop worrying. No more guessing, no more guilt. You just build them into your life and let the consistency do the work. That's where the magic happens, not in drastic diets or one-time changes, but in the small, consistent decisions you make every single day. Because sometimes the smartest thing you can do for your future is build it one slice at a time. There's something most people don't realize until it starts to affect them first, and that's how much the food you eat influences how you feel inside and out. And bread, of all things, plays a bigger role in that than you'd think. Especially after 65, your body starts to respond more noticeably to what goes in. That means the wrong breads don't just get digested and forgotten, they can leave a trail behind. A trail of inflammation, discomfort, sluggishness, and even joint pain that seems to come out of nowhere. You ever wake up in the morning feeling stiff for no reason? Or notice that your knees ache more after lunch than they did before? It's not just aging. It's what your body's reacting to. Certain breads are made with refined flours that have been stripped of anything remotely natural, loaded with preservatives, and sweetened with hidden sugars that quietly trigger inflammation. They mess with your gut, spike your blood sugar, and leave you feeling drained instead of fueled. That kind of low-grade inflammation, day in and day out, adds up. It wears on your joints, it clouds your energy, and it even messes with your mood. That's why I always say this isn't just about nutrition. It's about how you live. When you choose breads that are truly made with whole grains, minimal ingredients, and zero junk, you're not just eating better. You're helping your body fight less. You're giving it space to move freely, digest smoothly, and recover faster. These aren't minor differences. They're the things that help you enjoy a walk without pain, stand up from a chair without struggle, and get through your day without hitting a wall halfway through. I've seen people go years thinking their discomfort was just a part of getting older, only to change the bread they eat and feel the difference in a matter of weeks. It's not magic. It's just finally giving the body what it's been needing. That's the power of making smart, intentional choices, especially with something so simple, so familiar as bread. And remember, this isn't about giving up all bread. It's about getting rid of the ones that do more harm than good and replacing them with breads that actually support your health. It's a small change, but for many people, it's the start of a bigger shift: less pain, more energy, better digestion, and a clearer sense of well-being that sneaks up on you in the best possible way. Because the bread you eat shouldn't be weighing you down. It should be lifting you up. You've probably noticed it too, how food advice these days sounds more like a sales pitch than something you can actually trust. The supermarket shelves are full of buzzwords like natural, heart healthy, or whole grain, and most of it is designed to grab your attention, not to serve your well-being. That's why I always tell people, especially those over 65, to be wary of hype and look deeper, because the sad truth is, a lot of what looks healthy on the surface just isn't. And bread is one of the worst offenders. I can't count how many times I've seen someone pick up a loaf thinking they're making a good choice because the package says malt, grain, or fiber-rich, only to flip it over and find a laundry list of ingredients you can't even pronounce. Artificial preservatives, added sugars, fillers, and bleached flours that do absolutely nothing for your body. And what makes it worse is how these products are marketed to seem like the right decision, especially to older adults, trying to do the right thing. It's clever, it's convincing, but it's not always honest. That's where you have to step in and take control of the decision making. Because when you rely on the front of the package to tell you the truth, you're letting someone else, usually someone more interested in profits than your health, dictate what goes into your body. And at this stage in life, you don't have time for trial and error. You need clarity. You need honesty. You need to know that what you're eating is actually doing good, not just looking good on a label. That's why I always recommend simplifying things. Forget the flashy packaging. Look at the ingredients. Ask yourself, is this real? Is this food? Or is it a science experiment baked into a loaf? The breads that truly nourish you don't need to brag. They speak for themselves through their simplicity: real grains, minimal ingredients, nothing artificial. And when you find those, you hang on to them, because once you've felt the difference, you'll never want to go back. The thing is, you've already got the wisdom. You've been through enough in life to spot nonsense when you see it. So trust that instinct when it comes to food, too. Bread doesn't have to be complicated. It shouldn't be. But if it is, that's your sign to put it back on the shelf. Because your choices should be guided by truth, not tricks.